Hello again. In the last few videos in this series, I've been talking about scripting, and I'm aware I've been talking about an awful lot of don'ts. Don't write your script longhand, don't read it on stage, and all those sorts of things. So I wanted to bring this little set of videos to a close with some thoughts on how you do guide yourself through your presentation. Now, a lot of people say, do I need to learn it? If this is a talk that you're going to be giving a lot, I mean, maybe this is a brand new keynote that you're rolling out if you're a professional speaker, then yes, you probably do. You're going to need to learn it because you are going to need to be able to recite it and repeat it regularly and in the same way. But you've got to make sure you're not learning it and then just reciting it by rote. It's got to be fresh. So you have got to find ways to make sure that it doesn't sound as if you are just processing it from your brain and out your mouth without it going to anywhere new. So what I think is the key to guiding yourself through, though, are prompts. Because a lot of us are writing presentations to give once, or maybe just to give a couple of times, or quite often a lot of people are asked for presentations at very short notice, and you're not going to have time to learn 15, 20, even 30, 45 minutes worth of content. So this is where I think prompts can be useful. And there are two main ways to prompt yourself through a presentation as far as I'm concerned. The first is bullet points. And I will quite often have bullet points on a cue card. And I will try and have a single cue card. So I will try to reduce it down to bullet points on a single cue card that I can just look at, and I will either put in my pocket, put on the table and leave. Or I will occasionally, if I'm presenting online, I will have a piece of paper stuck to the back of my screen, just with some bullet points on, and make sure they are just bullet points. This is not script lines, because you will end up reading them, as I have already said. You can also use your slides as prompts. Now, again, it's not about having script, and you do not want to be reading things. So what appears on the slide should really just be a prompt to you what to talk about. Now, that might be a question. That's quite an easy prompt. So the question appears, the audience can see the question, and then you answer that question. It may be an image comes up that prompts you to talk about a certain thing, to tell a certain story, for example. So look at these prompts as jumping off points. So it's a word, maybe a very short phrase, maybe an image, and it's a jumping off point for you to talk about that topic for the next however many minutes. And it's quite a useful discipline. If you know that you've got to talk for, let's say, 20 minutes, let's say you're going to allow a couple of minutes for an opening, a couple of minutes for closing. So you've maybe got room for 4 different things you want to talk about for 4 minutes each. So you're going to have 4 bullet points as your prompts, or maybe 4 slides with images on as your prompts. And each of those, as I say, is a jumping off point. So no, I don't think you have to learn things by rote unless you are going to be delivering something regularly. And actually, you know, once you've delivered it a few times, you'll probably find you know it pretty well anyway. But even then, when you are learning it to repeat it, doesn't mean you have to use exactly the same words every time. You've got to cover the same ground, you've got to make the same points, etc., etc. But even then, you see, I don't think you should learn it word for word, because the problem with learning it is if you forget it halfway through, it's quite hard to find where you were and restart. So think about prompts. Cue cards, slides, I think are probably the 2 best ways to do it. They are jumping off points, not script points. So hopefully that helps. If you came to this video via my YouTube channel, then please do drop into the description below. You'll find a link to my email newsletter sign up, and you'll get a fortnightly newsletter from me. If you came here via that newsletter, then do subscribe to my channel while you're here. We're going to go on to a new topic next time, and I'll see you then.